Board Secretary, please call the roll.
Present.
Gilbert.
Present.
Baptist.
Yes.
Thank you. Baines. Baines.
He's on.
Here.
Okay, on to the approval of the agenda. Any objections, amendments? Okay,
I move to approve.
all those. Board Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Reader.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Baptist.
Yes.
Baines. Absent Hill.
Here.
Smith.
Here. I mean, yeah. You're all here?
Okay, on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Smith, will you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, any conflict of interest today on any of the items on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, moving on to scheduled presentations.
We have no scheduled presentations.
Good morning, Trustee Baines. Okay, any public comments? Absolutely, sir. Any person desiring to speak on a matter which is not scheduled on the agenda may do so under the public comments section. Speaker times are limited to 3 minutes per person on any matter within the RD1000 jurisdiction, not on the agenda. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Dard Hunter. I'm a longtime Natomas resident. I appreciate the opportunity to briefly introduce myself and to express my appreciation for the good work of RD1000 and the board. Flood control is foundational to our safety and the long-term viability of the Natomas region. I'm aware of the trustee opening, and I'll be submitting an application later today for that role. I'm currently on the City of Sacramento Rail Yards Public Financing Authority. I'm a commissioner. I'm active in many other aspects of civic and governance roles in the community. I have a background in finance, leadership, organizational development, and I'm aware forward to next steps very much. Until then, thank you all for your service. I look forward to sitting in on the meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you for expressing your interest.
Madam President, can I ask a question? Is it possible when we have public speakers to have the camera shot, or do we not have that capability, the camera shot of the speaker?
This room was designed for the cameras to move as people speak. If it didn't capture it, then we need to figure out the scope of where the cameras jump.
Okay. Well, not to create a disruption in the meeting, but if it's possible, great. If not, that's fine. I can hear the testimony. I just can't see the speaker. So.
We see you.
Yeah, I'm here.
We miss you. We miss you. Okay, on to the general manager's report.
Good morning. I don't have a lot of things to report on that are new, but let's just touch on a few of them. Biggest news right now is, of course, the board has hired Scott Brown to be the next district general manager. Scott will be starting here on Monday, so that's a milestone for us, and makes me very happy. So welcome aboard, Scott, and look forward to you being here. I'm sure the board members are very excited also.
I'd like to take a moment to thank you, Interim General Manager Devereaux, for stepping in while the district went through a rough patch. You know, you charged ahead full steam and you cleaned up so much in the district, and you really set the tone for us finding the new general manager and really setting the tone for the next 30 years. I just want to say thank you for your service. I know we pulled you away from your grandbabies, and I understand that because I was pulled away from my baby as well. But I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you for that. I know it's babysitting's rough here.
But it's different.
Different than work. Thank you, Madam President, for those kind words.
Well, echo that also, and I know that's an expression that's used a lot. Thank you for your service, but I truly mean it. Also, that thank you for stepping in and doing that. I did have one comment on the general manager's report, and I know that it's just updated each time. But one of the things said something was scheduled for, I think it was March of 25, and I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That's already
we
gone
probably
by.
need
So
to
it's
go in
probably
and
Scott's
clean up the
problem.
report.
Scott's probably be his first task is to
Yeah.
clean up the
The
report.
GM
at
report.
those dates. And I just,
Yeah.
just wanted you to know I did read it.
You know, what would probably help in my mind, because as I looked at that also, is that, you know, we received those reports and they're getting pretty voluminous because we have a lot going on. So I'd like to have a note after each of the sites updates as to when it was last changed, the description. So has it been updated since the last board meeting is kind of what I'm interested in. What was the change? And so I don't know how we facilitate that, but that's a concern I have is I'm looking for what's changed and I have to read the whole thing and I really don't have a perspective as to what's been updated.
Well, the dates help you guys.
Madam President, I just wanted to share that some of my other clients, to address your comment, Trustee Gilbert, they have whatever language is new in the report be italicized.
No, that's what I was going to be
Right.
my suggestion.
And then the next month you unitalicize and you add the new in italics, and then you can scan through and see what's changed.
So if it's not been updated, I'll see italics. I don't have to kind of try to figure out what's going on. Yeah, all right.
Exactly.
You know.
Or a different color. Let's go crazy.
Hey,
Let's go crazy.
Invisible ink.
Just a few other things to highlight. We're getting very close to Plant 4 becoming operational again. I think Gabe's got to touch on that in his report. Likewise, we are in the midst of completing some security improvements at the Northgate property. Again, I think Gabe will touch on those. We're continuing to work with the city and our fellow partners here in the basin on the recertification, both of the exterior levees as well as the interior levees. The city has asked the district that reported previously for us, where we can step in with our workforce and do some of the minor modifications, raises that need to be done for the interior levees. So we've had Mead and Hunt kind of tasked to provide that data to us and to help us identify the sites. So we're getting close to being able to do that, and then we'll have to figure out some sort of arrangement with the city if they're going to reimburse us for those costs or how that's going to work. Likewise, the exterior certification, the modeling has been done. We're working with the city, and now we've brought in Sutter County as a partner along with Sacramento County to further the modeling that needs to be done and to work with FEMA so that the exterior levee can be recertified and what the floodplain that remains inside looks like. So we're looking to hopefully get a meeting together with the 4 partners, and then something would come back to this board in terms of whether we want to be a cost sharing participant. Last thing I'll just note is many of you know John Bassett. He's the engineer at Safeco. So he's retiring this month. So, I can tell you, I hired John to come when I was at Safeco. He has been instrumental in much of the improvements in Natomas. I mean, you guys have all done the heavy lifting to get projects authorized, get projects funded, but at the end of the day, there has to be somebody that gets the projects done in the field. And John has probably done more than anybody else to get actual improvements done in the field. So it's a good thing. And I'll work with Scott Brown and the board president about maybe at some future meeting, we kind of recognize John for his efforts in Natomas.
I think we should put together a resolution for him. I believe his retirement party is on the last Friday of this month.
Yeah, it's in February.
Yeah.
That's all I have. If there's any questions the trustees have on the GM report.
Do you need a motion for a reso for him or?
We'll put one together and then we'll actually agendize it at a board meeting if that's okay with you. Maybe in April or something.
Okay, on to the operations manager's report.
I'm just touching on a few items here. First one being homeless encampment removals. We spent about 2 weeks last month performing removals, and it yielded about 60,000 pounds of garbage. Our year to date right now is just about 250,000. So we've spent a lot of time with removals. Obviously, we did some in rural areas, urban areas. So yeah, we've definitely spent a lot of time on that. As it relates to the Northgate property, we did get the backfill installed. J. Franco Electric wired up the building for Sonatrol security. The Sonatrol security will be finished up today. So we'll be good with that. And we did put metal behind the windows. That's another feature. So we should be good and secure with that building by today. As Scott, or I'm sorry, as Paul had discussed, plant 4. So we're waiting for the SCADA tower to arrive. That's the final feature for that plant to become operational. Once the SCADA tower is installed, does arrive, it'll take 1 to 2 weeks for installation and testing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, by March, we'll be ready to go. So that's a good thing. That's about it for the updates from me. Do you guys have any questions?
I do actually. I'd like an update on last month. Last time we provided direction to file a police report on the stolen backflow at the Northgate property.
It's been filed. It's been filed.
Okay, can you send me a copy of that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Did they respond to you?
No, it was they wouldn't come out. It was a phone conversation. They wouldn't come out to take the police report. We had to do it over the phone.
Yeah, I had a similar situation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Couple of questions. From my memory, I thought our costs for homeless encampments was down. Does that mean that the homeless encampment is down?
It fluctuates. But right now, we're seeing an increase of encampments.
No, okay.
But it does kind of ebb and flows throughout the year.
Okay, one other question. I saw that the police arrested somebody for copper stealing from mud. Any chance he was our theft?
No,
we didn't hear anything back from that he was also. I was hoping maybe that solved the problem, that one guy was doing it all.
No, unfortunately not.
There's a lot of competition out there.
Well, I assure you that operations manager will work on being the Columbo of copper theft in his free time. Okay, on to district council's report.
Good morning, board members. Really pleased that we've completed the process of the board retaining a new general manager, and happy that Scott will be on board. We've designed that so you can just generally say Scott and one of us will speak up. I am required under the Brown Act and other state law to officially put into the record the terms of Scott's contract as an executive. And this really comes out of the city of Bell debacle down in Southern California, where no one knew how much people were making. The law now requires that for executives, we verbally state it and it go into the minutes. So Scott's contract is effective Monday, which will be his first day. It is a 3-year and 4.5-month contract. He is in a traditional probation period until July 1 of 2026, and then has 3 years from that point. He's eligible for cost of living increases for the second and third years. The base salary for the position is $240,000. He is entitled to the same health, welfare, retirement, and employee benefits that other employees are. He'll actually come in as CalPERS PEPRA, not Classic. So that actually will be a lower cost than our previous general manager. He's entitled to all the standard vacation days plus 15 days on top of that. Those are really the key terms of the agreement, and it was a pleasure negotiating with him. Just so the public understands, during a closed session where the board authorized me to negotiate and Elena to make the final decision, these terms were all within the range the board provided. And so we were able to sign the agreement based on that authority, but now I'm required to report it in public. So that's my first item. Any questions on that? Yes.
So we actually would like to put an amendment on the vehicle allowance. I think we want to change that from the truck to the allowance,
The truck to what?
to an allowance, a monthly allowance.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll have to agendize that as a separate item, so I'm happy to maybe sit with you and Scott afterwards and talk through
Mhm.
how you'd like to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, I wanted to share that there is an ambiguity in the law that Paul and I have spent some time talking about regarding qualification for trustee. The legislature amended, and by the way, none of this affects any of you, just to be clear. You're out. There is an ambiguity in the law, and this came about when the legislature imposed a residency requirement on trustees in RD1000. It's the only reclamation district in the state where that is imposed. And in a traditional reclamation district, in order to be a trustee, you have to be a owner of property or a representative of an owner of property. And it's just not clear whether that requirement of an owner or a representative of an owner survived when they added the residency requirement. My reading is that didn't survive, it was replaced. Paul tells me previous attorney's opinion was that the residency requirement survived. We've realized that there is this ambiguity. And so my recommendation to the board is that we actually request an attorney general opinion. The attorney general will analyze it and tell us the answer. And then we definitively know, so we can tell people in the district what the requirement is. In order to obtain an attorney general opinion, the request has to come from a legislator, a county council, a district attorney, a sheriff, or a constitutional officer of the state. And I'm confident one of those people would be willing to make a request on our behalf. And so in order to eliminate that ambiguity for the future, it's my recommendation we go ahead and request an attorney general opinion. Then we'll definitively know what the answer is. And if the district doesn't like the answer, or if a legislator wants to change it, that can happen afterwards.
We need action item on that.
I just want to know if anyone has any concerns about me going down this road. I think it's within my authority, but clearly if you don't want me to do it, I'm not going to do it.
We like clarity, sure.
Yeah. And we can also request for a legislative council opinion, just a verbal one, just to get us going as well.
Yeah, there's per Madam President's statement, there's a process where the Legislative Council, which is a officer of the state who advises the legislature, can opine on it as well. And that can occur based on a request from a member of the legislature. And some people here are connected to legislators.
I have no idea who.
So, okay, we'll proceed down that. Other than that, the month has really been just wrapping up the last of the hiring issues and getting the contract in place. I look forward to my life getting a little bit simpler, as it will for many of you, and getting back to business.
I do have one item I'd like to follow up on.
Yes.
The last month we discussed the filing an insurance claim for the damage estimated over $300,000 with a focus on negotiating a reduced settlement to cover the essential repairs like basic power, cheaper system installation. The direction was for staff to open a claim by the deadline and explore the negotiating with the insurance company. Council was tasked with leading the discussions with the insurance and qualified counsel. So I just wanted an update on that. Did we file or?
Yeah, so I think Paul provided an update on this last month because I think that was 2 months ago. But what happened was exactly what you said. And then Paul and Jolene reached out to the insurer, and the insurer came back and noted that under the policy, we are not eligible for insurance if the property was vacant.
It was vacant more than 60 days.
Yeah, more than 60 days.
Oh.
And so Paul had reached out to Eva as chair of operations.
Yeah.
Yes, operations committee, to confirm that she agreed that since the policy explicitly stated that we wouldn't apply, and she was confirmed with that. And Paul, maybe you did it quickly last month, but I thought you shared that with the board.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, I
right.
got this from the minutes of last month.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's
Then
yeah.
sorry we didn't come back and report on that, but that was why we ultimately didn't file the claim, because since there was no coverage, filing the claim would go into our claim record, and we would
Got
get
it.
no benefit.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
why we didn't file it.
And our premiums would go up. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apologies for not reporting on that.
No worries. Just following up and all the threat. Okay. Okay, on to the consent calendar. Can I get a motion?
So,
I have a,
well,
I have a motion from trustee Smith. I have a second from trustee Hill. Board secretary, please call the roll. Thank you so much, Nick.
Peter,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Baines.
Aye.
Hill. Sweeney.
aye.
Okay, on to scheduled items. The sponsorship opportunity, review and discuss sponsorship Natomas Chamber of Commerce 2026 Annual State of Natomas.
I think it was in the board packet, the information on the sponsorship, the different levels and the number of tickets you get and the other benefits of being a certain level of sponsor. So I defer to the board president and the board, which way you want to go with this.
Due to the amount of people who are interested in going, how many people are going? Jack,
Well,
trustee, Hill,
this is the lunch you're talking.
yeah,
Yes.
and then me, Tom Smith. Trustee Avis, will you be attending? Okay, so it's
Yes.
5. And then we have a special guest. Okay, and then we have, okay, so that's 7. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just chat with them, just shove our chairs together. We like each other. We can sit next to each other. It's fine.
Tables are 6?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so let's go for the platinum sponsor. What do you guys think? Okay. I move to go for the platinum sponsorship for the chamber event. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Board secretary, please call the roll.
It's trustee Whitaker,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Baines.
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Okay, on to item 6.2. CSDA Sacramento Area Network Officers review and potential action. On Zoom, we have Dane Waddle from CSDA to answer any questions or inquiries regarding any of those 2 documents and if we have any questions on how to proceed forward. Dane, is there anything else we need to know? Moving into this item.
Not from our perspective, just, you know, I can just give a little context. The number of districts met about 2.5 weeks ago, just to, you know, basically talk about the agreement and the bylaws, and you have that information in front of you. Groups talked about, I think, if I recall, it's in March, to have another follow-up meeting to kind of just, you know, everyone kind of digest and go through this process that, of course, you guys are doing right now before we reconvene and discuss next steps. Yeah, it's actually March 17th. We're planning to have our next meeting. So happy to answer any questions. Thanks so much.
So for the first page of the agreement, it says the agreement is made on this blank day of 2014. Is that an issue?
I mean, it'll. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the page that you're at here.
What page is
The
that?
chapter affiliation agreement.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it'll be the date that it's actually signed. We probably just used one that we used in the past. And again, it was kind of a boilerplate language, but it'll be cleaned up when the actual date is, you know, when it's signed.
Okay, and then the other question I had was for page 11 of the bylaws. Okay, so under section 5.4, nomination and election of officers at the blank month membership meeting, any member of the district through its designated representative may nominate a qualified member from the floor for office to be filled at the election. If such a nominee is elected, the individual shall be eligible to take office only after filing with the chapter a copy of a motion or resolution adopted by the board of directors of the individual's district supporting such an election. My question to you is, do we need to be very specific on which slot when we do nominate a candidate? How far do we need to go in the?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, not from our perspective at CSDA. I mean, it's kind of what you guys as the local chapter and the local, you know, districts really who are members of that chapter decide, to be honest.
Okay, so let's say we want to nominate our general manager for one of the slots. There is a chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. And I believe you also have other subcommittees like the legislative committee, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's in the bylaws currently that the group, as you know, has decided to have in there for right now. So yeah, and just the treasurer position too, I think is notes in there, which kind of I'm not sure how we have to work for the treasurer because the
No
group
fees or
is
dues.
there's no dues, right? So there's not much of a treasurer responsibility with no dues. But anyways, I think those are things that obviously can be worked out. And if clearly if a district wants to specify for, the specific chapter officer role, we don't have an issue with that.
Okay, so because our general manager starts on Monday, can we go ahead and nominate him, or do we need to wait till the start date? Dane?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Because our general manager starts on Monday, can we make the motion today to nominate him for treasurer? Because we're so ambitious.
I mean, again, I think it's more of up to, we're not trying to pass a responsibility here, but since it is, if that's what the will is of you guys in the district, and I don't think there's an issue with that.
What?
We don't have an issue with it.
Sounds good. So that we can meet that March 15 deadline. Okay.
Let me clarify though, you're just talking about nominating him to be on the committee, not to be a particular position.
It is for a specific officer, so everybody's involved. SMUD has theirs. Consumnes River, they want. I don't have an interest in participating as chair or vice chair of the Sacramento network. Do you, Jack? This would be good if you want it. Not right now. Okay.
But you were specific about nominating him for the position of treasurer.
Yes, because we've had previous discussions.
Okay, but it says there's no position for treasurer because
there
we haven't got
is.
any assessment.
No, there is. It's right there in the report, right there.
It says in the event chapter dues are established in the
No.
future. Am I right reading it wrong?
Yes. So
5.1.
item 6.2, the second paragraph right here. Each regional network designates a board officer, typically including a chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. These roles help guide meeting agendas, coordinate regional events, disseminate CSD updates, and represent the region in a statewide discussion when appropriate. Just to make sure we have someone on it, because we don't want a network to fly without some representation from RD1000. It would be best to plug in someone in a role where they don't need to manage anything, at least just to start out.
My only comment on this is having seen this play out in Aqua once, the Association of California Water Agencies, where I was chair of the legal committee. There was an organization that had nominated someone for a particular position, and when they didn't win that position, they didn't have the ability to fall back to the next position to run again. So if you do nominate for treasurer, it's only treasurer.
Okay.
So you could nominate generally, you could nominate treasurer, you could nominate generally with a preference for treasurer. You can do it however you want. It's not a legal issue. I just want to make you aware that if it's only treasurer, you might find him hamstrung if there's suddenly 15 people running for that slot.
Well, if you can't have treasurer, do you want chair? Okay. Okay. Well, first things first. Any other trustees want to participate? Tom, do you? Ava? Jose? Okay. Trustee Abdus?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay.
I think
Yes, sir.
Scott was good.
Okay, Scott. So we will go
You're in.
ahead and you can reject our nomination too, if you please, if you so desire.
You have to wait
Yes,
till Monday to reject it.
Okay, so I will go ahead and make the motion to nominate Scott Brown for one of the board officer slots for the CSDA Sacramento Area Network with a preference of treasurer. Go Wild. Okay, board secretary. Oh, let's open it up for public comment. Wait, let's open up for public comment first. Hearing none. Okay, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion. So I have a second. Yeah, give a second for that. Okay. So I made the motion. I have a second. Board Secretary, please call the roll. Aye.
Yes.
Captain,
Yes.
James,
I.
Bill, Smith.
Aye.
Okay, you guys have it. The item 6.2 is approved. Were there any amendments to the chapter laws? Did you guys catch anything? Scott, did you catch anything? We're good. Okay, so you feel confident moving forward in March. Understood. Okay. Okay, on to trustee comments, reports, and other activity. Trustee Gilbert,
Thank you, everyone.
fighting.
Oh, I was, it's my turn to speak?
Mhm.
Oh. I noted that CSDA has an annual conference and they have a leadership academy in conjunction with that. I'm going to be signing up for the July 19th through the 22nd, I think it is. And I think it'd be a good idea if we had other board members, if you can, attend that or actually and Scott. So I just wanted everybody to get that on their calendar. We can talk about that more. That's it.
Where is the July?
San Rafael. Yeah, there's three of them. I think San Diego, San Rafael, and I can't remember the Bakersfield maybe, but that was the closest one.
Okay, and then Scott, we are still in the process of recruiting a new trustee. I believe we have applicants. The closing of applications is Monday. Okay, and there's a huge questionnaire on flood control. So that's good. Okay, we have no closed session items. Scott, we're good. Okay, I'll go ahead and entertain it. Well, actually, let's just adjourn. I will see you guys on March 6th.
Thanks, everybody.
It's on our website. Let me see here.